Super, merci. Bon matin, bon matin! C'est un petit peu plus tranquille qu'hier. On va avoir une belle petite conversation conviviale entre nous. Merci d'être venus à la deuxième journée. On en a quelques-uns qui rentrent encore tranquillement, pas vite. Sans plus tarder, je voudrais inviter Mme Cathy Malas, qui est adjointe PDG Innovation Intelligence Artificielle au CHUM, qui va nous expliquer comment le CHUM intègre les utilisations bénéfiques de l'intelligence artificielle au bénéfice des citoyens. Madame Malas, une bonne main d'applaudissement. On accueille Madame Malas, s'il vous plaît.
Bon matin à tous. On pensait vraiment que le printemps était arrivé, mais pas vraiment. Hein? Il faut patienter encore un peu plus, mais au moins les Canadiens hier ont gagné, alors c'est parfait. Ça fait notre bonheur. Alors, que ce soit au niveau de la guérison, de la prévention de la santé pour les maladies infectieuses, ou la guérison des cancers, ou encore le traitement de l'autisme, ou la réhabilitation des enfants ou des adultes avec difficulté de langage, la santé est un droit fondamental humain. Et comme citoyens et système de santé, on a non seulement la responsabilité, mais l'imputabilité de s'assurer que toute technologie, innovation et maintenant l'intelligence artificielle qu'on a introduit dans le domaine de la santé est réellement au bénéfice de la population. Donc, mon nom, c'est Cathy. J'ai le plaisir de soutenir la stratégie d'innovation et d'intelligence artificielle au CHUM. Donc, pourquoi le CHUM s'intéresse à l'intelligence artificielle? OK. Ils m'ont dit le bouton vert. Ah, voilà. Ça marche. OK, on continue. Les besoins de la population ont changé, sont en constant changement. Depuis les années 70, on focusait beaucoup sur la guérison des maladies, l'aspect aigu des soins de santé. Et aujourd'hui, on parlait beaucoup d'épisodes de soins hospitaliers, intra-hospitaliers surtout. Et aujourd'hui, on parle non seulement de trajectoire de soins, mais de trajectoire de vie. Au-delà de nos murs, on veut que de moins en moins les patients viennent à l'hôpital. On parle de médecine et de santé personnalisée, donc d'adapter l'offre de services, de soins et services, de prévention en fonction des besoins de la population. La demande de la population aussi a changé. Non seulement on veut guérir les maladies, mais on veut les guérir avec des techniques diagnostiques et thérapeutiques à la fine pointe des connaissances. La population nous demande non seulement de guérir et traiter les maladies, mais surtout de prévenir et promouvoir la santé. On parle non seulement de bien-être, mais on parle de mieux-être et maintenant même de être bien. La population nous demande aussi de s'adapter aux nouvelles réalités, les techniques de cellules souches et maintenant l'intelligence artificielle. Alors là, je ne vais pas aller dans le détail, il y a des sommités dans la pièce sur l'intelligence artificielle. Montréal est une plaque tournante. On attire les cerveaux. Et pourquoi on attire les gens, les experts dans le domaine? Oui, il y a des sommités qui sont là parmi nous aujourd'hui, mais il y a aussi l'aspect de la responsabilité sociale qui est au cœur de nos actions. Et Montréal est très bien placé pour attirer les meilleurs cerveaux et générer des innovations au bénéfice de la santé. Et le secteur de la santé est particulièrement touché en bien, on l'espère, par l'intelligence artificielle, et j'y reviendrai par des exemples concrets. Il y a des nouveaux moyens qui apparaissent sur le marché. Il y a maintenant des Alexa qui nous rappellent de prendre nos médicaments. Il y a des infirmières virtuelles qui rappellent aux patients, avec exemple maladies infectieuses, d'adhérer à leur plan de traitement. Il y a des chatbots aussi qui nous permettent de dépister certaines conditions médicales. Il y a aussi une convergence des nouvelles connaissances et technologies. C'est fou le rythme effréné de l'avancement des connaissances et des technologies qui rentrent dans le domaine de la santé. Et nous, comme professionnels de la santé, gestionnaires, chercheurs, il faut s'assurer qu'on s'adapte à ces nouvelles connaissances-là. Il y a aussi des nouveaux entrants. Il y a quelques années, quand je présentais cette diapo-là, ils disaient « n'importe quoi, là, Walmart ne fera jamais de la santé, Uber ne fera jamais de la santé ». Et maintenant, quand je présente cette diapo-là, il n'y a personne qui est surpris. Walmart aux États-Unis, maintenant, lorsque vous faites votre épicerie, vous avez un petit rhume, vous allez dans un cubicule avec votre médecin ou qui vous prescrit un antibiotique et vous urgence collective pour vraiment s'assurer que ce qu'on met en place comme projet a des réels bénéfices pour la population. Et pourquoi qu'on a un écosystème? Donc ça, c'est l'intelligence artificielle améliore de façon continue les soins, s'assure qu'on développe des outils d'aide à la décision cérébraux pour identifier les signes avant-coureurs de crise épileptique. Nous avons aussi l'IA pour dépister toute technologie ou innovation, incluant l'intelligence artificielle, qu'on a introduit dans nos murs.
L'Institut de IDRC. Kai, help me. International Development Research Center. Thank you. La CRDI en français. Qui va vous présenter son panel de discussion. On a les chaises placées ici pour la lumière parfaite pour la photographe, alors bougez. Et voilà, tout le monde s'installe. Parfait. Dans cette chaise pour tout le monde. Alors, on va parler de l'intelligence artificielle, des inégalités sociales. Comme on a entendu Yoshua Benjou hier expliquer, et Trooper Sanders qui est derrière, qui nous a parlé des risques parfois d'une implantation sociale d'un outil aussi pour voir si cet outil-là pourrait pas être utilisé à l'inverse pour diminuer l'écart entre
Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to So we're going to be touching on a very critical topic. In inequality, but also emphasize some of the existing but also, you know, some of the framing months and also in the next 30 years are around the governance of AI. Who is the director or the executive director of the Quebec up. We have Anne Griffiths, who is the lead product manager at Open Law that you have Kathleen Senmenu coming from us in DABA, and also part of the women the community and public affairs program at Concord. Let's go to Nicolas.
Hello, everybody. And go with AI. I am the executive director and founder of the Observatoire québécois des inégalités. born yesterday. I encourage you to check it out. I have two society or positive outcomes. A diverse crowd. Second question for you. Will AI inequality more than it will reduce it? Okay. Well, I'm an optimist skeptic. Of 4 society-wide challenges that I want to bring forth that I think deserve to be kept in mind, and 5 possible. I think we should start with what can influence the type of AI we can have. AI by the few, in this sense tech giants, means, well, to most and we are talking about data ownership, access, algorithm, computing power. We will have. Second challenge, we can run out of jobs. More deep into this subject, but I think the third challenge is also related to it, because well, you know, if we train everybody, if we give education to everybody, if we give equal opportunity to everybody, it has risen to very high levels in all development. Been more educated in the last 30 years than we have been in most periods in our history. The populations have never been this educated. Quality is not education and internet. It's great, right? Well, we've had access to internet for now a couple of years. New norm. It's a new standard. You have to have access to internet. What about the people who don't? Well, they're excluded. We create new inequalities based on this. As a policy objective, inclusion alone won't cut it. If you have a really the top 1% and in tech oligopolies, there, I said it, how will that change? How would that make things better in terms of inequality? I think having a more equal representation can change things in terms of all right, so that's the part where I'm a skeptic. Now where am I? 30 years. And I think that a lot can be done and a lot will be done. How many of you in the room have an iPhone? Show of hands. Was made possible by the state. In terms of investments, in terms of regulation, in terms of grants. Firms can take. And it has a bigger long-term perspective. Incredibly good book, The Entrepreneurial State. I think you should read it. And first possible the 60, 70% of a market, 80% of a market that's basically who benefits. Second possible solution, a jobs guarantee program instead of a minimum income program. Keeping your social purpose, being integrated to society, keeping your skills up to date, having the opportunity is the minimal package everybody as a worker should have. And it defines the standard for the rest of society. In terms of grants, subsidies, regulation, we should think about its impact on inequality first. Because well, mostly us, the states and individuals, social norms. Observatory will have a big role to play in that in Quebec, the Inequality Observatory too. And I think it's good to have evidence. Benefits to everybody. Well, if you want AI to benefit to everybody, reduce. Look at the Swedes and the Nordic countries. If you have a state, a population, fair chance of making it in life, well, you will have an AI that will reflect that. So for each solution,
So let's go to Anne Griffin. So I gather that like many of So with that, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Anne. I'm Anne Griffin. I'm a human and a product manager. I always say it in that order because I always think of myself as a human first. But I'm going to get to that second because, again, like I said, I think the most important thing in being someone who actually creates the technology is that you remember that you are a human first and the things that you are building and you actually can't represent. And in terms of the reason why I'm really passionate so I'm a black woman with a white mom and a black dad. Well, sometimes they say the black capital of the whole United States. And you know, it wasn't even legal in the United States until 1967. And also being someone who's been living recognize my own privilege, even though I am a person of color, is really critical, because the things that I build are going to impact people. My presence there actually impacts the people there, because there's a lot of people who no longer can afford to live in my neighborhood who were born in. So so it's like, in addition to kind of my intersections, even though my history is like my dad's side of north with the Great Migration in the United States for jobs and industry. Three generations ago from Romania and Sicily. And these are all things that when I think about like what we're building, Black but also interracial, these intersections of being a woman in technology are things that I need to consider. And I also need to know when there are experiences that I can the African experience. And I think that's something where a lot of people need to kind of think about like where you don't represent and where you need to include those people in building your technology. But one of the things I need to kind of keep in mind is someone who my primary job is to actually build things and make things that hopefully people are going to use. Wrong. Like, how could this actually harm the people it's trying to help? And we're starting to see that where it's like New York City accountable for like the algorithms they're using. So if you have an algorithm that's trying to determine who gets benefits and who doesn't, those are things that we're seeing, but then we're also seeing in the state of Indiana, we're seeing things where those same benefits, especially in a state that is close to Ohio, which Ohio is one of the hearts of the opioid epidemic in the United States. I said I would get to kind of the product management side of my life. That's kind of me, or me talking about the human side of my life. So quick show of hands, how many people here feel kind of confident in their understanding of blockchain? Raise your hand. It's okay if you don't, you can keep them down. Recently, and the thing that I actually meet a lot of people where I say, oh, I work in blockchain, and they say, so blockchain is the thing that makes Bitcoin work. So Bitcoin is an application of blockchain, just like email is an application of the internet. And so what my startup is because one of the concepts in blockchain, especially I work with the Ethereum blockchain. For those of you who don't know blockchain, there's actually, you can have different financially and otherwise, and we're trying to build a lot of infrastructure so that lawyers who are actually dealing with just your standard agreement selling a car to someone. The United States, there's still so many children where like they don't have high-speed internet access, or they have their phone but they don't have a laptop computer. And if you've ever tried to fill out a form, like trying to do online homework, for example, from your phone, little smartphone, it's very difficult. And so like one of the things, like these are kind of the things I'm passionate about and thinking about, like how do we make this technology more accessible so it just doesn't become the people who are already in this, who already kind of run the system, do what they did with the internet, but do it to blockchain.
Wonderful, and I think blockchain is one of these converging technologies along with AI as well, and it is also good to hear about your experience. So now let's go to Kathleen.
My name is Kathleen Simenyu. I work as a data scientist for a company called Africa's Stalking. What we do is we connect software developers to infrastructure. Selling point is just the fact that you integrate with us and then you get access to the market of the telcos that we have in all the various markets that we have. So it's one back home in Kenya, and that work has also involved not only building the grassroots communities, but then also thinking about how the evolution of various communities can working in different contexts every single day. They're growing up in a world where they are, I hear the term digital natives being used, so maybe they're AI natives. They're growing up in a world where AI is pervasive everywhere. And then beyond just the education and the awareness of what AI is, I think much in the same way that websites right now grow as opposed to not getting it. Right now, a lot of job application processes tell you that we can't give you individualized attention, but then if an AI is powering it, then we should be able to say, okay, you did not get this role because you have, I don't know, demonstrated not so good interpersonal skills or whatever. But these are services which we should be able to, in the future, give people access to, and then give them actual concrete results of why certain decisions were made. And finally, no, not finally, but also just in addition to interrogating the decisions, we should to Stack Overflow, for example, for developers, people who are not developers, use it a lot for debugging, and they have a facility where you can go and download you can see all the data that they have on you. So something else to see this data, your data as an individual, to be able to download it and see, okay, that is being dealt with a lot in policy right now. Once data that is being collected about you by various sites, you should be able to say, okay, to you. And I posted this from the point of the individual. Point of awareness and then giving them powers to make decisions about themselves. Regulation and eventually just how we build it.
Wonderful.
Lots to say. Like Nicola, I'm not at all an expert on AI. I'm a political economist and have studied and talked. I've learned a lot in the last 24 hours. Segue what I want to say. We're sort of that we heard about yesterday were so inspiring, or this morning the work that is about knowledge. I think when we talk about inequality, about digital tools, about the issue of democratizing access to knowledge. And I still have last weekend, I still have a bad cold. There was a conference, I don't remember. Among other things, that of AI. They had 275,000, roughly. So, I mean, we have. But we have to have some basic understanding. And I think if we just go back, contributed immensely to allowing that financial adequately to all these these new fake instruments that were appearing. Somebody referred to. You know what a collateral, I can't even say it. A CDO, what a CDO is. The economics of finance. So the whole issue of inequality has to. It's a dark picture. It's deep. It gets deeper. Whether it's specific populations that we know suffer from greater inequality than others. These are, again, consequences of choices. Since the mid-1970s, and that's a free market dominated society. And so long as we don't question are going to be embedded in a paradigm that's going to reinforce what Nicola digital economy that control how AI is any longer to play dead or allow this market-driven paradigm to steamroll. If we look back at the first industrial revolution, it spawned so many progressive movements that have and that's the mutual associations, the cooperative movement, the labor unions, all of enable people to actually benefit. We don't have to resist technological change, but we shouldn't be driven by dominant society. After the Depression in the 1930s, and protection that we knew. Now, people refer to that period as the golden age of capital that wants to pay lower taxes. You don't have a social consensus. Instead, you have a blame the victim. People who are poor are because they are lazy or they're unproductive and so on. So I think what we need to do when we talk about AI or the digital, let me just come back for a second to the digital economy. We're talking about AI and the fourth industrial revolution. The third industrial revolution is part of this, we're slipping into this fourth, however it will take shape. But it was raised yesterday, the whole gig economy, 0 hours, people who have no access to there's Amazon TaskRabbit. I mean, these are just examples of
I think educating the general public is a very important thing, and I think Milind yesterday said it very well of like, especially, it's not only on them, but like researchers need to get out of the lab and into the field. Like you have all these institutes that are getting money, like you have even Future of Life Institute by Elon Musk, and it's like, how many people in here have actually heard of it or read any of their research? And so a lot of these things, and it's hard because these are institutions that maybe the average person doesn't have control over and they can't force them to come to their community and talk, but that's one thing. And then good point Kathleen brought up is like, if something is going to use AI to help you, like, is it also on that company to educate you? Should there be policies that it's on that company to also educate people, like how they're also getting into surveillance for governments. But I think like education is
yeah, please. Any?
If I think the question to ask is, will it just tweak an inequality? Like Margaret said, and we should make them evidence-based. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And with that, round of applause. Up to the next panel, which is on AI, money, and something.
Impact. We would like to welcome one more speaker. So. Un autre conférencier. On a décidé que c'était la pause. Bon, excellent. Tout le monde s'est rassasié, un peu de café. Accueillir professeur conférence l'année passée, sa présentation avait été beaucoup appréciée. Personnes âgées. Donc, quand on inviterait Mme Pigot à venir nous en parler.
Bonjour tous, bonjour à tous, et puis merci. Les soins de longue durée, mais en fait, les résidences de longue durée, mais en fait, ce qu'on s'aperçoit, c'est que 91% des personnes âgées restent à domicile, ou puis après, il y a des gens dans les résidences ou dans des résidences intermédiaires. Mais donc, ces personnes-là, elles le souhaitent et elles veulent rester le plus longtemps possible à domicile. Et puis, il ne faut pas oublier non plus les personnes, donc, comme je le disais, qui ont un traumatisme crânien ou qui ont une déficience intellectuelle et dont l'espérance de vie est de plus en plus longue. Donc, toutes ces personnes-là souhaitent rester à domicile. Mais il y a des risques énormes de désorganisation. Donc, on connaît par exemple les personnes âgées qui se retrouvent, avec Alzheimer, hein, on s'entend, qui se retrouvent la nuit parce qu'elles pensent jour et puis elles des cadeaux, etc., qui sont assez importants. Puis ça, on pourra en parler longtemps. Pénurie.
Quand j'ai fondé cette conférence, il y a quelqu'un qui m'a dit « Parle surtout pas d'argent ». Ben, excusez-moi, je vais le dire encore. Une implantation équitable de l'intelligence artificielle, ça prend des solutions out of the box, in the box. Il faut en parler, puis j'ai trouvé le meilleur modérateur pour en parler, Sylvain Carl de Real Ventures. Je t'inviterai à venir nous parler d'intelligence artificielle, d'argent et d'impact social. Merci.
J'inviterai mes panélistes aussi. L'idée ce matin, c'était.
We've seen what I think you had a question like, what are you excited about, or why are you here? What gets you excited, or something like that. I think when we look at what this collective mobilization has done in the past, it's been changed certain paradigms about what is possible, and I think that's where what stimulates me the most is to see, for example, also about 20 years ago, the Réseau d'investissement social du Québec, the RISC, when it was created, was a specific organization to lend to collective enterprises. So there was, against no guarantee, because I'm not going to...
the next 50, 75 years. So this is just a great time to be alive and be involved in this stuff.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alain Olivier Desbois. I'm the lead practitioner of impact investing at Esplanade and SVX here in Montreal. So a couple of words on what we do. Esplanade is a accelerator based here at the Milex, dedicated to 100% to social businesses. So we have a program called Impactate, which helps support, coach businesses from ideation to growth. who wants to put at the heart of the business model impact and trying to find ways to monetize. We've undertaken since 2015, so we've been to basically grow their business. And segments we've been involved in. Mobility and system of practitioners around these entrepreneurs. Of putting capital but at the same time use the capital